2 of my gravediggers were caught and hanged yesterday. The other 2 are understandably reluctant to meet a similar fate, but I shan't let their concerns stall my progress. I need fresh corpses, and if those bumpkins can't get them for me, I'll use theirs instead.
Guards! They're in the graveyard again!
Men, move out! We'll hang you, scum!
Oh, you're not gonna get me!
Archers?
Poor bastard. While Geralt is busy dying, you duck behind a gravestone and run for your life. Throwing yourself over the graveyard fence, you hear the heavy thuds of many armored feet behind you.
There's the last one! Get her!
It's fortunate that Evangeliza established her lair close to the graveyard to mask the smell of the rotting meat she constantly needs. Though, she might be unhappy about all the guards you're bringing through. Sprinting the several hundred-foot gap between the graveyard fence and the hideout, you crash through the entry door of a dark, decrepit house and find Evangeliza standing in the foyer.
I told you what would happen the next time you fail me. However, I did not expect you to bring the entire guard with you to celebrate.
Before you can get a word in edgewise, Evangeliza snaps her fingers and a tall figure shambles in the darkness. You cringe with fear as it lurches towards you, but it instead positions itself just inside the door.
They're inside this house! Quick, before they escape!
The first guard to charge into the foyer is immediately bludgeoned to death. The figure leaps out from behind the door and starts attacking guards left and right.
Bring it down! Bring it down!
The guard captain is cut short as her head is separated from her body with a massive blow. Amidst the carnage, the creature slowly turns and walks towards you, looking to Evangeliza for further instructions. Evangeliza looks pleased at all the new bodies she can use for her experiments.
You two, put the bodies on that cart. We're leaving town before something else happens.
Welcome back to a Compendium of Monsters. This week's entry, the Flesh Golem. Before we continue, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Flesh Golems are a challenge level 5, medium-sized construct. They have an armor class of 9, average hit points of 93, and a walking speed of 30 feet. Flesh Golems have dark vision out to 60 feet, and while they cannot speak any languages, they understand the languages spoken by their creator. Flesh Golems have immunity to various types of damage. They are unaffected by lightning damage, poison damage, or damage from non-magical attacks not made with adamantine weapons. Flesh Golems are unaffected by a variety of conditions: charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Flesh Golems have a variety of abilities that affect how they interact with the surrounding world. If a Flesh Golem takes lightning damage from any source, it takes no damage and instead gains a number of hit points equal to the damage dealt. However, if a Flesh Golem takes any amount of fire damage, it has disadvantage on its attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn. Flesh Golems are immune to spells or effects that would alter their form and have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Attacks from a Flesh Golem's fists are considered magical for the purposes of overcoming magical resistances. Flesh Golems have an ability called Berserk. When reduced to 40 hit points or fewer, the DM will roll a d6. On a 6, the golem goes bonkers and attacks everything within sight until all its hit points have been restored or its creator reestablishes control. Control can be reestablished with a persuasion check to calm it, but if the golem takes more damage, it might go berserk again. Oh, the joys of being a parent. Flesh Golems have a basic multi-attack that allow them to make 2 attacks. The damage is significant for low-level parties, but not particularly worrisome for high-level adventurers. Hypothetically, you could confidently solo kill a Flesh Golem as early as level 11. All golems are created using a manual of golems, which allows an individual to create a single golem per manual. All golems are infused with a spirit from the elemental plane of Earth that gives them mobility and a small amount of sentience. This spirit is trapped in the golem's physical form and reacts differently depending on the golem. As perhaps bleedingly obvious, Flesh Golems are created from flesh! Because Flesh Golems are a medium-sized creature, humanoid flesh and bones are the best to make one, but you could always carve up a large carcass to supply the things you need. Don't worry about ligaments, tendons, or muscles. The Manual of Golems will take care of that for you. However, if you don't give your golem any joints, it won't be able to move around very effectively. Flesh Golems are responsive to commands, but are mentally like children, and the elemental spirit trapped inside might howl with rage from time to time. My players have encountered Flesh Golems in multiple places. The first was a literal child Flesh Golem named Timmy, who was the son of an archmage of Peaceland, Tammy. Honestly, it's pretty messed up that the cultists under the tavern used a child's head for the flesh golem, but it's even more messed up that Tammy blamed the party for her son's death and set out to destroy them. The second, Tomb of Annihilation, spoilers ahead, was in the Tomb of the Nine Gods. Barakas was messing around with the adamantine-bladed fan trap on the first level and set an assortment of items crashing down through the tomb, attracting the attention of plate-armored flesh golems. Fun fact, flesh golems in the Tomb of the Nine Gods have an estimated challenge level of 7 instead of 5. Anyways, what do you all think of flesh golems? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. I'll see you all next time.